Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, so we are meeting after a gap of one class. You know, the class was last Sunday was my youth group's convocation, passing out parade. So, I mean, I could have taken the class online, gone in between and but then all the people were making their presentations at that time. There was a Swami, you didn't see much. So I said, okay, one thing in a year, no, let me give them that. Yeah, youngsters, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. So, yeah. Okay, so last time we were seeing what is Purusha Tantram and what is Vastu Tantram. How karma, the first Mimamsa, Dharma Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, is based on Purusha Tantra. And Jnanam is based on Vastu Tantram. Therefore, not open to your choice. If it is Purusha Tantram, it's open to your choice. Can do, need not do, it can be done differently. Like before the class we are talking about the temple. What type of a pratishtha you want? You have a choice available. Okay? But in Jnanam, that choice is not available. Vastu Tantram is Vastu Tantram. Finished. Nothing. Like if I were to tell you, okay, old example, look at this beautiful rabbit I have in my hand. It's very nice, clean, white, fluffy. Not one of you is going to take it. Why? It is Vastu Tantram. You know it's a cell phone. You know it's a cell phone. It's not a rabbit. So it's very clear. Knowledge is like that. Okay? Whereas action, like if I were going to say, now invoke the Lord of communication on the cell phone. Who's the Lord of communication? Huh? Buddha. 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 Yeah, Buddha is meant for communication. So, if I say this phone is meant for communication, Buddha is a Lord of communication, so invoke Buddha on this. That you can do. Invoking Buddha you can do. Why? Invoking is your action. It's a choice you are making. You can also choose communication, but I prefer to invoke Vagdevi, Saraswati. Vagdevi. That's also fine. Why? Your choice. That's all your choice, no? What is Jnanam? Cell phone.
Also invoke Google.
Therefore, upasanas, meditations are also Purusha Tantram. Remember that. That's why they are not equated to knowledge. They are not equated to knowledge. Yeah. No karma, Vaidikam or Laukikam is all Purusha Tantra. Now, in a Vaidika karma, your choices may be limited. That's a different thing. Because the choices are only with respect to what Veda can give you. And in the world, circumstances can limit your choice. Your resources can limit your choice. Your abilities can limit your choice. Your imagination can free up your choices. Yeah. So this much all in detail we saw last time. Any questions or clarifications? Prashant, you have a question? Yeah.
One small thing from last class, though some darshanas don't consider Vedas as Pramana.
Correct.
And they kind of miss out on that. And some people consider Veda as Pramana, but then they bring in their own interpretation, and
correct.
Then also they kind of miss it as a Pramana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Swamiji, like.
So he covers that in the next para. He covers that. Yeah. He covers that. I'll elaborate it there.
Is that because it is Shabda Pramana, that is why that possibility is there, that they kind of interpret it differently and then...
Correct. So, like Buddhistic and Jainistic schools, darshanas available in India. Both Buddhism and Jainism came from India. It's offshore. They reject the pramanyam of the Veda. They don't accept it. That's why then you have to say something different. You put it like this. Either you will have to say, I am limitless, or if you are going to, which is what the Upanishad is saying, or you have to say, I am not, something different. Something different, there are two possibilities. More than infinity, less than infinity. More than infinity is not a possibility. It's only hypothetical, but it's not possible. Less than infinity, I am not interested in it because I already have it. What is less than infinity? You are different from me. That makes me feel finite. You are part of the whole thing. That also makes me feel finite. Why? I am a small cog in a huge organization. Why do people leave huge organizations and join smaller organizations? Because in a huge organization, their voice is not heard. Nobody listens to anything they have to say. You are a small cog in a big wheel. Whereas a smaller organization, your voice is heard, etc. Yeah. Now I want to be big boss, be an entrepreneur. Easiest. For many 30-year-olds are entrepreneurs. Fine. It depends on what you want. So, but what I am trying to say is, all of them makes you feel finite. So what do you want? Freedom from finitude or being in finitude? It calls for a certain courage to think big. Studying Vedanta, Advaita, requires a certain courage and to learn to think big. Because it is not something small that you're trying. Not something small. So it also, you have to be careful. Because it's all knowledge oriented and you are getting insight which is very different from anything else. You have to be careful that it doesn't make you feel arrogant about the whole thing also. That's one thing you have to be very careful about. Like yesterday, we are at a religious ceremony and having dinner after that. And all the priests who were conducting the puja, etc., now they are priests. All of them were serving the dinner. They were acting as waiters, serving. No ego at all. So I was joking with a couple of my students who were there, like Sonali and all. In Dvaita, a lot of bhakti comes in, therefore there is a certain humility.
Seva bhav.
हम लोग सब ज्ञान वाला है लोग.
Guruji, it is seva bhav. Seva bhav.
Seva bhav is more. Seva bhav is more.
To serve is considered a prize, something very great.
Yeah, there's something very profound. Yeah. Something highly profound. What you are trying. More than profound. So that will come into the picture. Yeah. Any other questions, clarifications?
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yeah.
In this Vastu Tantra and Purusha Tantra, then doesn't that Pratyaksha become more?
Good question. अभी आ जाएगा. Next para. Next para. The Pratyaksha becomes important करके. Yeah, you will see.
Swamiji, what is the question, please?
I will clarify because it's coming in as a Purva-paksha in the text itself. Any other questions or clarification? Okay, then let us go ahead. I think we have to do page 82, right? 79 and 79 I think we finished last time. Yeah, 80 we finished last time. Tanureva 80, all that we finished.
ये ना अभी करेंगे.
Therefore, we concluded that by saying Bhuta Vastu Vishayani Vastu Tantrameva. Whenever you are dealing with what is already there, it has to be Vastu Tantra. Because it is all. What you can do with it is a different thing. In the finite world, you can do anything with it, but you have to see it for what it is.
82.
Yeah. You have to see it for. Remember, there used to be a phone. Nowadays, phones are delicate. There used to be a phone that could be used as a weapon. Huh? Yeah. The first Nokia phone that came. The chunky little, chunky. You hit a guy on the head, he'll collapse, and the phone will still work. This phone, it will drop from 2 feet height. Screen is gone. Something is gone. Delicate. Those phones you drop it, you put it in water, everything chalega. So what you use with it is a different thing. Yeah. So that way. He says, now your question comes up here. Tatra evam sati, that being so, Brahma Jnanam api Vastu Tantram eva. Okay. And before that, one other. Another point he has raised in the last class, which I want to highlight, is you look at a thing. There can be many opinions about it, no? Can have many opinions. If you are looking at an existing thing and you are having many opinions, what does that indicate? You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. Avidya is there. Is it a post? Is it a thief? Is it a ghost? Okay. Or is it the statue of something? All this vikalpas show there is no jnana. It's a post. Jnanam. So, in Vyavahara you will find there are various concepts about one and the same thing, which implies that we are not definite about it. Knowledge is not definitive. And it is not definitive because you are dealing with a mithya thing. My old example, is an electron a particle or a wave motion? Right? Because we are not yet sure what it is. Sometimes it's a wave, sometimes it's a particle. When you are not observing it's a wave, when you observe it's a particle. Means we are not yet clear what it's about. That's where research is on. But Samji, if you take it like this works. Correct. If you take it like that also, it works. Why? When you are saying it works, what is it? Purusha Tantra. Therefore, you are taking a stand and you are doing something, it works. Or you take another stand and do something, it works. Yeah. It's a phone, but it will work as a paperweight also, no? It will work as a paperweight also. It's a phone. Very good for me to give. On my examples, I don't use props generally. Why? Props are there na, in your everyday carry. Phone is there, pen is there. So, good for a prop. That's how I choose to use it. That's how I choose to use it. Therefore, you have a concept of a thing and you choose to use that concept for functioning, it will work up to a point. Up to a point it will work. Beyond a point it won't work because that's not the reality anyway.
Paperweight is a false knowledge.
Yeah.
Phone is a true knowledge.
Exactly. Phone is true knowledge. Paperweight is how I choose to use it. Vastu Tantram. Like a famous example is your spectacles. Many of us wear spectacles. This works on the straight line principle of light. But light is a wave motion. So in through the lens it should get actually diffracted. Diffused light. But it doesn't. It works. But we all know light is a wave motion. But this is based on the principle of straight line. And it works. Because up to a point, in a certain concept, it will work. It won't work over long distances and things like that. But there you have to use light as a wave motion. So, conceptualization can work for a point. But conceptualization means it is not the truth. It's a concept. So that also we saw last time clearly. But that's not to be. Then he says, Tatra evam sati. This being so, Brahma Jnanam api Vastu Tantram eva. Knowledge of Brahman is also Vastu Tantram because Brahman is existing. You can't say Brahman is not existing. That's the only thing that's existing. Okay? If Brahman is existing, it is Vastu Tantram. Then the question comes.
So, Swami,
Yeah?
so people who are in the science faculty or very technical minded and very educated, who will come to the curriculum to Swamiji. So they will put Brahman as a concept only.
Yeah. So Brahman in academic circles, or if you're studying on your own, or if you're studying because of your background in science, etc., you'll always be conceptualized. Yeah. You look at academic presentations, scholarly, they're on the but conceptualization. Yeah. I mean, even in there are two types of academic. One academic circle is when you study the Upanishad through some Annie Besant English translations. Where the Panditas didn't know English and the English speaking character didn't know Sanskrit. In between they made some gochi out of the whole thing and they studied. So most of our English professors of philosophy are like that. Yeah, I have to understand this. And sometimes the level of not understanding is huge. Like my friend, he got a doctorate last week, Christopher, okay, in the healing arts, etc. So he was just a school final, okay, school pass. So he had to do his MSc by thesis. Bombay University has recently started that. You can get your master's as a thesis, MS program as a thesis, and after that you can apply for a PhD. So his thesis was in evolution, the philosophical evolution of Indian martial arts. Because there are some 18 martial arts available in India today, and it all from one source, Vajrapushti. Then Kalari next up. After that it all got scattered into different things. So when he was making his presentation, the professor is asking him, but why are you talking about the enemy all the time? So martial art, you're supposed to talk about family and friends. Oh. I know sometimes relatives behave like enemies, that's a different thing.
That's the foundation.
I mean, what an unthinking question by someone who's supposed to be a thinker. So the academic learning becomes like that. Then there is other people who are much, much better. I met some very scholarly people among them. Are those who study the Shastra but with a thorough Sanskrit knowledge. Thorough background in Sanskrit. Okay. They are very good. But they may or may not be Sampradayavits. Because for them also it will be conceptualization. Because they have not studied from a Sampradayavit. Where you are directly seeing the truth of a thing. For them, Pramana will become more like authority, tending towards authority, even though they will say Prama, Karanam, etc. But they will say, but Anubhavam has to be there, they will say. Are Anubhavam is Jnanam. But they will take it as this thing, some experience, etc. Because that intellectual study is not enough for them. They are not being able to cut across the whole chatter and see the truth of things. So that is a problem. And then he says, even his Vastu Tantram also, Nanu Bhuta Vastu Vishwate Brahmana Pramanantara Avishayatvam Vedanta Vakya Vicharanam Anarthatyameva Praptaha. Very powerful step, Purvaksha. Nanu, no. So Bhuta Vastu, no? It's already existing, no? And Brahman is already existing. And what is your Pramana? Shabda. So I will give you two examples. Okay? Paroksha Jnanam, Aparoksha Jnanam. Both are possible with Shabda. Here is a pen. This gives you aproksha jnana.
Yes.
I am talking about Gomukh. Beautiful. The whole cave in the glacier, water gushing out. It gives you paroksha jnana or aproksha jnana? Paroksha, because away from you.
Sorry,
Paroksha, away. But whether it is paroksha jnana or aproksha jnana, pramanantara vedyatvam is there. You are seeing this perception. When you go to Gomukh, you will see it. Supposing I say, chalo, next year Gomukh chale jayega. One trip I promised is remaining. Okay? Jayega. When you go there, ऐसे ही था. But some people will also ask me. So I am preempting that question. But it doesn't look like a cow's mouth.
And like Swamiji, when you say Gaumukh, like say I have already been, so then what comes is
For you it
memory.
is Smriti.
It's
For you it will be Smriti. Because you have been there before. For Dayanand also it will be Smriti. He has been there before. 20 years हो गए ना? More than 98. Yeah, 98 we went. So now look at it.
I was very young that time.
Yeah, you are very young. You all very young. I know.
you won't even recognize it. Now it has become so small.
Now what is it? Therefore, pramanantara vedyatvam is there. You can be known by another praman. Any example you give me of Shabda Pramana, example in the world that you will give me about Shabda Pramana, there is always pramanantara vedyatvam. Ganga river, the new Kashi Vishwanath corridor, Ayodhya temple. You give me any example.
What is it? It is pramana.
To be known by another pramana. Pramana antara, another pramana. Vedyatva. It can be known by another pramana. Okay? Therefore, Vedanta Vakya Vicharam Anarthakyameva. Therefore, doing Vichara on Vedanta Vakya is pointless. But you can know it by other pramana. Bhuta vastu, no? मैं जाके देख लेगा ना. Yeah. Upanishad बोलता है. But my inference I will find out. Pramanantara Vedyatvam. Or direct Sakshi Vedyam, I will know it by my meditation. In the white heat of meditation, I will know it. Something.
So Swamiji, this when these idols like Ganpati Murti and Rama's Murti and all, they are what? They are
okay. They are deliberate adhyasa.
No, but how they were formed? That is also a Sakshi Vedam.
No, they were formed on the basis of the description given in the Shastras.
So then it is Pramana Vedam or Sakshi
It is
Vedam or
some sort of it's Pramana but doesn't have the same validity as the Veda has. For Puranas, example, are also considered Pramana. But they don't have the same validity as the Shastra. That's why where they say, if there's a contradiction between a Purana and the Shruti, follow the Shruti, the Veda, not the Purana.
Yeah, but still it is not Pramana Vedam then, no? Like Murti of Ganpati, how was it formed? It came in some Rishi Muni's meditation?
Yes,
or
it's a
what was it?
conceptualization by the Rishis.
Okay.
It's a conceptualization.
So then it
It
becomes
is a
what?
conception.
Pramana Vedam
Yeah.
or Shruti
True.
Vedam? Sakshi Vedam.
Like supposing I were to tell you, all of you here, okay? Give me a design for an ideal hall to have classes. All of you will do something. There will be 30 varieties of it. Huh? Correct? What is the thing you are dealing with? Hall. Then why all this change? Because each person's conceptualization. So now like this, there is some traditional conceptualization. Some Rishi saw Rama in this form. Since he was a highly evolved soul, we took that description as Rama. But in Rama's description also, there are variations by the Rishi saying. Bala Rama, rarely seen. But in Ayodhya, the main Pratishtha is Bala Rama. Bala, not Balarama. Bala. Balarama has got different meaning. So in Sanskrit, all it requires is one vowel to make the change. Balarama means Rama was powerful. That is Krishna's brother. This is Balarama. Long Bala. Rama as a child, because Ayodhya, his birthplace. Or Kodandapanahi, warrior form. So it depends. How? Because this is how the rishis envisaged this. Okay, they saw it. It is a. Then they also mentioned what is Rama? Nirgunam Satyam Jnanam Anantam Ananda Swarupam Yasmin Sarve Muneha Ramanteti. You know, that in which all the Munis revel in Ananda Swarupa. So they knew he was Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Then for the sake of Upasana, worship, puja, they conceived a form. So it was very knowledge-based conception. It is not an abstract conception. You know? Like in the Valmiki, for example, Ramayana, if you read, that's a conceptualized. 32 qualities of what Rama was. 32 qualities. Because Valmiki knew Rama and he is describing Rama. The Rama he knows he is describing. So, they are all conceptualization. Why? Because Rama is nothing but Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Yeah. Rama is Anantam Brahma, but conceived in this particular form.
So Sakshi Vedam.
Conceived by the rishis.
Conceived.
Yeah, conceived. Yeah. They found, okay, how will I? Just imagine a rishi sitting down and thinking. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is nothing but Jagat Karanam Brahma. Now there is an avatara of Rama. So the conception is there in the Veda before the avatara came. The word Rama is there in this Veda. Then it is fleshed out in the Puranas and Itihasa like Ramayana. Fleshed out. So all this is conceptualization. Yeah. And then a painter will paint according to his idea. I'm telling you, none of the paintings of Rama I have liked. Very few, one or two I have liked. They make him too effeminate. They show him Kodandapani as a warrior and show him as a warrior. Yeah, because he is putting a bow in his hand. Like that Bhalarama, very nicely done. And because he is a child there, very beautifully done. Very beautifully done. So paintings like that will come, sculpturing will come. And then there are Bollywood versions.
It is coming.
Arun Govil as Rama.
Acting Rama.
The new one, oh my God. I can't imagine Ranbir Kapoor as Rama.
How can they take?
Let us see how he portrays it, because his acting anyway. So portrayal can be this. But Arun Govil, the perpetual smirk on his face. Ananda. Idiotic. कुछ ये रहना चाहिए ना. Agreed, you will never be able to capture the spirit of the original. That's fine, I understand. But thoda kuch, something should be there.
So, Swamiji, just one question out of curiosity. This Kalki Avatara, which they are saying is going to...
See, already conceived. Avatara has not yet come.
That is conceived by whom and where?
The rishis.
The rishis.
Yeah.
And that's there in the Puranas?
It's there in the Puranas also, fleshed out.
He's going to come on the white horse and...
But again, when you say white horse,
It will be plain.
you never know what it will be. Yeah. It may be purely robotic for all you know.
10th Lord.
Yeah.
Incarnation.
You never know what it is. This is how you conceived of. Okay. So that is for a murti when you are concerned. Here it is not like that. Here you say pramanantara vedyatvam, because anything that you understand by shabda, worldly, your experience, anything you understand by shabda is pramanantara vedyatvam. Even if you are describing heaven, etc. It is pramanantara vedyam, not here now, later when you go there. Therefore he says,
Swamiji, here Pramanantar Vishayatvam is given. So
Vishayatvam.
is
Same thing as Vedita, because the object of another pramana. Yeah. Therefore, Pramananta Vishayatvam, therefore, Anumana, etc. is important in Vedanta Vakya Vichara Anarthakyam. Are you really going to, I mean, come on, if you are really interested in knowing something, are you going to depend upon my descriptions of Gomukh, or are you going to go and check up? If you have that scientific curiosity, you want to go and check up, no? Sachmuch aisa hai kya? Ye Gomukh bolte hai, really is it like that? Gomukh is small opening, broader inside. So that V-shaped formation. That's called a Gomukh. Simhamukha is totally open. Front and back is the same. That's why there are two types of, again, caves and opening land also. Simhamukha or Gomukha.
V-shaped lands are very popular.
Huh?
They are the best.
Yeah.
Where you have difficulty in getting in, but afterwards.
Exactly.
In Banaras, all the houses are like that. When you enter, you feel, oh
Yeah.
my God, it is so small, and it's
Then the whole huge will become
huge.
Gomukhas.
So
Okay,
Swamiji,
Pramana.
here the first portion of the Veda will fall in Pramananta.
No, there also Pramanantara Vedyatam you won't take, because on earth you will not know. No?
So later.
And whether there is heaven or not, how will you know? You will know only through the Pramana. Therefore, strictly speaking, for worldly things, Pramanantara Vedyatam is applicable. But for the first portion of the Veda, not strictly applicable. Because, yeah, you can, when you, after death you will know, but after death,
And who knows?
yeah, who knows? Exactly. Therefore, that trust, etc. is there, that's all. Yeah. He says that is not true. He says that is not true. Why? He says, na indriya vishayatvena sambandha grahanat. Because Brahman is not indriya gocharam. For it to be pramanantara vedyam, it should be indriya gocharam. Either you should be able to see it directly, or you should be able to see enough data about it. That Brahman is limitless, there is no data available other than the Upanishad. Indriya gocharam. It's always described as adrishyam, agrahyam, anindriyam, etc. because of that. It's always described. The Upanishad Pramana uses it like that. Why? Because how do you see Brahman? How can you see a limitless entity? You can only see limited things. Plus, it is your own Swarupa. How do you see it? It's your own Swarupa. How will the seer see himself? And not only that, Paranchikani Vyatirnak Swayambhu Paran Pashyati Nantaratma. Kathopanishad. Kani, Paran are external focused. Indriyas are focused externally. So Paran Pashyati, the sees outer side. Na Antaratma. Not the Atma that is manifest inside. Won't see it. How will you see it? Indriya Agocharam. Because it is Indriya Agocharam, it cannot be known. Therefore, Pramanantara Vedyatam is not possible.
Swamiji, I have a question, but initially when you don't know, then you know through your mind. Then you know that mind is dependent, but then at that time, then it is not Indriya.
So that is not knowledge, no? When you say initially you know, you are only having an idea about it. You don't know. You don't know. This was indicated very nicely. There is this lady used to attend my class. Young. So will come back. Samjhi. Aaj ganti baj gayi. Now it's clicked. Clicked it. Very good. So after next month, Samjhi, aaj sachi ganti baj. So should I come next month and tell me what happened? Because until it's clear, it's not knowledge. It's clear, not knowledge. So very often the study of Vedanta will involve you're getting a concept. Then the Sampradaya teaching is such that that concept will get broken. Then you get a better insight. Then that's still a concept. That will be broken. You'll get a better insight. This is how the learning goes. Yeah. Because of limited adhikaritva. I'm not saying no adhikaritva, limited adhikaritva. Uttamadhikaris, no problems, no conceptualization, straight away they get it. But we all will conceptualize. All of us will conceptualize before we get it. But then that concept has to be broken. इंद्रिय विषयत्वेन संबंध अग्रहणात् स्वभावतः विषय विषय इंद्रियाणि न ब्रह्म विषयानि स्वभावतः naturally all the indriyas will see the object of the sense organs only, not Brahman. Brahman is not an object of the sense organs, you will not see it. No. This much is clear. Okay? Indriya gocharam. Then now he is giving say a supposition. Let it be. Supposing it is like that. Okay? In school mathematical theorems you will say, na, if and only if and then all that type of stuff. Okay? Sati indriya vishayatve brahmana. Let us assume, all right, for the time being, for argument's sake, let us say indriya vishayatvam is there for Brahman. Okay? Brahman can become an object of your sense organs. Then, idam brahmanaha sambandham karyamiti grihyeta. Then you look at an effect. The whole world is an effect of Brahman. No? You look at it and say, oh, this has come from Brahman. You'll be able to say that.
Yes.
Like when you look at a kurta, you'll say, kurta has come from cloth. You can see the sambandha between karya and karanam. Because both are indriya gocharam. Both are indriya gocharam. Both are protection. Therefore, this is a cloth, and from the cloth you have made a kurta. It is both seen by you. Is such a relationship seen between Brahman and the world? World has come from Brahman. You can't. You don't see that relationship. Can you infer it? What is your data? Data, you see the world. At the most you can say, there must be a creator. A presumption. There must be one. That's all you can do. You can't do anything more than that. Then nimitta karanam, upadana karanam, how are you going to say that? So, once the Shastra says, you can logically understand it. Remember that. Logic is necessary to understand what the Shastra says. It is not established by logic. Okay. Previous argument was that it's a karyam itself you can't prove. Because pura and abhava, pradhamsa bhava you are not seen. So as a karyam itself you cannot prove. That was one thing. Okay. Then assuming it's a karyam, then this argument one. Then you will see the sambandha. Like when you see a pot, made of clay. So that type of a sambandha is not seen. Sambandham karyam grihiyate. Karya matram eva tu grihyamanam. Kim brahmana sambandham? Kim anyena kenajitva sambandha? Iti na shakyam nishchitam. Therefore, is this a sambandha with Brahman or something else? This or that? Kenachatva. Kenachatva sambandham. Iti na shakyate nishchitam. You cannot definitely say it. You cannot definitely say it. How can you say it? That's where research is on, no? Trying to find the building block of matter. And the block of matter is disappearing into energy now. Believe me, the energy will disappear into a concept. Up to now they come to matter and energy are interchangeable. Matter is energy, energy is matter. Now you will find that both are a concept. That will be the next step science will have to take. Both are conceptual. Now they think, no, matter may be the same, but energy is... Energy when we deal with energy, we know it has to be directed, it has to be conceptualized, ऐसा सब करना पड़ता है. Really. That's why you will say, sometimes yin becomes yang and yang becomes yin. Why do you say that? Conceptualization है, fact नहीं है. The is presented as though it is a fact, not a fact.
So when they talk about yin and yang and all that, then we are talking about Maya Shakti only.
Yeah, Prana
we are
Shakti.
talking about the gunas only actually.
Gunas, all guna level only the whole thing is.
And this Indriya Visheshatna, when we talk about Brahman and Indriya, anyways it will not apply because each Indriya itself is limited, no?
Exactly, each
So-
Indriya is limited, so Brahman can never be Indriya Gocharam.
They can never
Yeah,
be. The
that's what we are
starting
highlighting
point
here.
only will be faulty because the eyes, the ear cannot be the eyes and the eyes
Yeah.
cannot be the ear. So there only it is
The
separating.
limitations come.
So
Yeah.
if we are going by limitless and
Exactly.
Indriya Gocharam, to
Yeah.
सवाल ही नहीं होता.
Eyes can be ears, you can do lip reading.
Swamiji,
Super.
Yeah?
क्या point
when,
है.
when,
मतलब mind blowing point.
Yeah, one second, there's a question here. What is the
I was
question,
waiting, I
Karthik?
got this point.
Swamiji, when space itself is something that is not Indriya Gocharam,
Yeah.
and everyone accepts space, then it becomes a weaker argument to say Brahman should be
Yeah.
Indriya.
That's why we say it's Sakshi Vedyam.
Exactly.
Yeah, Sakshi Vedyam. So then you will have to say, is Brahman Sakshi Vedyam?
Nah.
Hmm.
Then subject-object divide has to come in.
That's true.
Same problem will come in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Iti na shakyam nishchitam. Tasmaj. Okay. Janmadi sutram na anupmana upanyasartham. Therefore, the Janmadhyasya yataha, this sutra, the second sutra, is not dealing with what has been dealt with in Anumanam. Kim tarhi, what is it? Vedanta Vakya Pradarshanaartham. It is meant to reveal what the Vedanta Vakya is saying. Kim punaha Vedanta Vakyam yas sutrena iha lakshayatam lilakshayatam. Duplicated form. Lilakshayatam. He says, then what is the Vedanta Vakya that is being revealed or being dealt with in this sutra? He says, Bhrugu vai varunihi varunam pitam upasasara adihi bhavo brahmeti. Bhrugu. Going to the, it is deliberately mentioned Bhrugu pitaram upasasara. Varunam pitaram upasasara. Why are you saying that? See, all this nuance is coming. Could straight away said, because father and son meet, they are staying in the same place, they meet every day, na? At least. They are staying separate is a different thing. But you are staying together or staying in the same ashram complex. Let's say it's a big complex. It's the same, you are meeting him. He approached as a guru, that's the indicator. Why he said, Adihi Devo Brahmeti. My Lord, Brahmam Adihi. What does Brahman teach me? Yeah, Adihi. Shankara commenting there says, Madartam Smara. Remember how you were taught, because Sampradaya is necessary here. Remember how you were taught and teach me. So the core tradition remains the same of teaching. Examples is that the sides keep changing. Okay. Therefore he says, and itya upasamkrama. Starting with that, yato vayamani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat pretya visham vishanti iti tad vijñāsasva tad brahman. That from which everything has come, that by which everything is sustained, that into which everything is resolved. Know that as Brahman. Tapasa Brahma Vijñāsasva. Do a lot of vichara on this. So that tapasa shabda is used for vichara. Why? Because vichara is necessary to understand. Why? He has already been taught in the previous section, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That's already said before. Remember, Bhriguvali comes after this thing. No? Yeah. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman has been taught, but he needs to be a little bit more. Therefore, Brahma Vijñāsasvati. Okay. Tasya cha Nirnaya Vakyam. Then at the end of it, all the vicharas, Nirnaya Vakyam is what? Ananda Deva Khyatu Yamani Bhutani Jayante Anandena Jatani Jivanti Anandam Pretya Visham Vishanti iti. From Ananda is everything come. By Ananda it is sustained. Into Ananda it resolves. Anandam Brahmeti. Therefore Anandam Brahma here is Anantam Brahmeti. And sometimes you make all these strange comments, that concept has to be there, then the concept has to be broken, etc. ये सब अपने कुछ भी मन के बात बोलते हैं मन के बात नहीं बोलता You're being very modernistic in your teaching. No, I'm not being modernistic. Why? What happened to Bhrigu? First he came Annam Brahmeti. Concept. Everything is born of material thing. Tapasa Brahma Vijijnasas. Father saying that, no, you're not understood enough. Tapasa Brahma Vijijnasas. Then he came Prana is Brahman, energy is matter, energy. No. Tapasa Brahma. Then Manaha, because energy depends on your emotions. Therefore Manaha. Nope. It has to be directed by thought, conceptual intelligence. Because we study everything, there's intelligence in it. Therefore intelligence manifestation is matter. Nope. Not enough. Tapasa Brahma Vijijnasas. So each stage you're breaking a concept, isn't it? The breaking is not shown, that's all. But each is a concept you're breaking. So if you have a concept that I'm inventing this theory, break it. It's all there. You have to notice, you just have to see it. Yeah. It's all there in the Shastra. Okay, मेरा कुछ नहीं है. Therefore the Shastra says it. Therefore it resolves into Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Anandam Praite Vakshanti. Iti Anyanyevam Jati Kriyani Vakyani. Okay. Then there are other Vakyas also of the same type, which shows the nuances of what it is. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam. Okay. Nitya Shuddha Karmadi Rahitam Guna Rahitam Nitya Buddha Avidya Rahitam Nitya Mukta, free from any limitation, Bandha Rahitam. These are all negating Vakyas actually. When you say Nitya Shuddha, I mean, okay, all Karma Rahitam, Nitya Buddha, Avidya Rahitam. Nitya Mukta is this thing Rahitam, Bandha Rahitam. Swabhava Sarvajna Swarupa Karna Vishayani Udaharatyanti. Therefore, all the other statements like these have also to be brought into the statement. Even though the direct analysis is about Yato Imani Bhutani Jayante, but by implication, by the same jati, all the sentences, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, okay, Yatha Varnanabi Granate Srajate, all of them, everything has to come in. All of them are indicated by this one statement. So what you see is, okay, this is a Vakya that is being analyzed. This is a Vakya being analyzed. From this analysis, you have to look at all other similar Vakyas. Yatha Varnanabi, okay, therefore material, efficient cause, both are same. It is both Jagat Karnam Brahma. Intelligence and both are the same thing. Why? Janmadhyasti yataha. Why? Imani Bhutani Jayante. Sustained and Vishanti, both. And for that Janma, intelligence is necessary. Therefore Nimitta Karanam comes in. Can you see that whole connection? Therefore Janmadhi Sutra, which will tell you the Swarupa of Brahman and also Ishvara. All those Vakyas connect. Okay, all those Vakyas connect. That means what? You have the sutra in your mind. Okay. You have to talk about Brahman. Sab kuch aa gaya. Because the sutra is in your mind, all the nuances, everything is connected. What is not connected? Give me any Vakya, you will say is connected to the sutra. I mean, there are other sutras also where Vakyas are connected. But the main thing, nature of Brahman creation, the sutra handles it. What about various concepts? That it has come from gunas, it has come from Vaisheshika atoms, this, that. Conceptual. So those various theories of creation proves what? Whether it is this Vishishta Dvaita, Advaita, all of them, these various concepts prove what? Truth is not known. Truth is not known. You present, world is like that, world is like that, world is like that. Remember in Mandukya Karika also it comes, many theories of creation, it is the Leela of the Lord, it is this, that shows what? You don't really know. You don't really know. You don't really know.
So Swamiji, then why do we call it as a darshana, sixth darshana?
It is called as a darshana because, a philosophy is purely conceptualization. Here, in a darshana, they have painted a goal, they have a theory, there is a goal painted, and there is a methodology of reaching that goal. Then it becomes a darshana. But darshana is, in a way, a vision of what it is. But along with that vision, all these are also involved. So because of that, it's called a darshana.
So the final vision is given by Vedanta.
Exactly. Because any other vision will lead you to continue in samsara. This is the final truth. Therefore, if Janmadhyasata can be interpreted in different ways, okay, three major interpretations are there. What is the one that will give you moksha? What are you studying it for? What is your prayojana? Hey, I will always be sitting around the Lord. Acha. The Lord is getting all the attention, not me. I feel you are left out. Sitting in front of the Lord is interacting with all those people. मेरे को कुछ पूछा भी नहीं है, एक smile भी नहीं है. One drishti, he didn't even look at me. Right there you can feel miserable. And then you see the neighbor who is there. Oh my God, that story I told you. He put the fear of God into people. So, what do you gain out of it? No, it is not like that. Then you're making fun of it. You enter God. You enter God retaining part and whole. So, retaining your identity or giving up your identity. If you have given up your identity, where is you? You are not there for moksha. To enjoy the moksha, you are not there because you have given up. No, retaining my separateness. If you are retaining my separateness, it's like a virus entering me. Abhi is the season, a lot of viruses are floating. Not like a virus, I am entering Ishvara. Yeah, he'll take an antiviral or antibiotic and get rid of me. Or like amoeba. I'm making fun. Yeah, making fun. Why am I making fun? Not to degenerate those philosophies, but to make you understand that how can you hold on to something like this? Retaining your identity, moksha. Giving your identity, you are not there. Either way, you are in a mess. Either way, you can be in a mess. So then what will be the truth? You and Ishvara are one and the same. All separateness is a delusion. To recognize that is the absolute truth. What else can be absolute? Because what will give you moksha? Prayojanam is moksha. So there are various concepts of moksha also. Correct. So a concept of moksha that makes you feel limited is not moksha. It's a sense of beatitude. So that religion also tells you, there are so many religions. Come to my heaven is like that. No, come to my heaven is like that. ये क्या टूरिस्ट ब्रोशर है क्या? Advertising your holiday homes. My holiday home is like that, your holiday home. ये क्या बात है? If you're treating it as a holiday home, I'll choose, decide. Should I spend time to go and visit? I've been on a lot of holidays. इधर गया, उधर गया. इधर भी जाने का है क्या? अरे यार बहुत time and effort है. Forget it. Why are you going on a holiday? Because I want to feel fulfilled. So direct, be fulfilled. Don't go on holidays. Be fulfilled directly.
So Swamiji, this Ramanuja theory is
Vishishta Dvaita, yeah.
Vishishta Dvaita. Means it's part and whole.
Part and whole.
I am a part of the Lord and then...
Yeah. Even your Pushti Marga is part and whole, actually speaking. Pushti Marga actually is pure Dvaita.
Yeah.
Even though, because world is real, Ishvara is also real.
Yeah.
Because world is the body of God is real.
So even this Dwarka and ISKCON and all, they are
All
also
Dvaita schools. All of them are Dvaita schools.
Part and whole again?
No. Separate only by devotion.
Acha.
Yeah. Your reward is being in front of the Lord. That's it.
So what is the end point?
Yeah, you used to sit in Goloka, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha,
And play
heaven, whatever.
Just for permanent.
So Swamiji, there's one question that I always had. I'm sure it's very,
Yeah.
maybe I've not understood well. So I wanted to clarify this point. So that in Hinduism, there are so many different theories. And everybody is of course saying they are the best. Now this, in Muslims, like when the terrorist attack happened, this fellow, the Muslims in Kashmir, what they said, that for us, we don't follow the passport, whether it is India or Pakistan or wherever. We just follow Allah. So if they are our brothers. So even if we are Indians, we don't go against this country. So the thing is that they have this unified kind of a thing approach towards their religion, and we have so that makes it difficult for us to say strongly that we are Hindus, or like where I was so shocked when I heard this thing.
That's a propaganda. The question is, in India, because in Hinduism there are so many different schools, we are disunited, whereas for example in Islam it is only one, therefore they are more united. It looks like that. It is not really true. Because in India, what is our spiritual goal? Moksha. Are everyone at the same level?
No.
Therefore, you can help a man on the street, an uneducated, illiterate person, to grow all the way up to moksha. So you have to give him stepping stones. So various theories available in Hinduism are all stepping stones. Now, in a religion like Islam, since the example was Islam, the stepping stone is not there. And you say Islam is one. It is not.
It is not. But that is what they are portraying.
It is not one.
I know they are.
There are so many differences, Shia, Sunni, and in Shia, Sunni also there are half a dozen differences in each.
I know. Yeah.
So, and you ask any sect, they'll say, no, we are the true one. All others are wrong.
Okay.
So let us say Islam takes over the whole world. Okay. There will be fight between Shia and Sunni, major.
Yeah.
Let us say either Shia or Sunni became others. Then in the sect there will be a fight. Then between each mullah, because jihad it is, no? Jihad is eternal strife. Yeah. Therefore only one Muslim left in the world, there won't be fight. Then also there was a cartoon, some meme, what do you call it nowadays? What is that? Guy with two swords fighting against himself. Actually all conflicts is here. Fighting against yourself is a good idea. Why? Against your wrong notions. So a step by step, Hinduism follows a step by step approach. Therefore we are all inclusive. If you want to worship Allah and gain moksha, possible for you. Understand that Allah and you are one and the same. That's blasphemy. That's where the problem is. Yeah, off with your head. Because you said that. There is where the problem is. We don't have the issue. You want to worship Ishvara as Allah? No problem. Fully acceptable for us. After all, you are worshipping the Kaaba. Linga hi to hai wo. We don't have an issue. Want to worship our Father in heaven? No problems. Worship. Anyway, he said, Father and Son are the same. Bolai. So, not an issue. It becomes an issue only when you deny that. So, think over the second, this thing. Next time, we'll have a quick revision and go ahead and do the third one. Okay, good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.
So, Swamiji, these other schools